Some folks just don't wanna see us shine, right? But we still here though. Land of the gray, from the 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 land of the gray. Yeah, they call us crazy. Yeah, they call us crazy. Should at least stop.
It was January during my junior year of high school, and as usual, I had eaten so much holiday food within the last couple of months, meaning that I was about 10 pounds heavier than I was in October. It was a cold January night, and my best friend Rihanna had came over to visit me. This was something super normal because Rihanna was at my house at least 5 days a week. She practically lived with me. We sat there watching The Great Gatsby and drinking hot chocolate and lemon water. As no surprise, I was the one drinking hot chocolate while Rihanna was drinking hot water and lemon. Rihanna, my best friend, who was 3 years older than me, had been completely into fitness since she graduated in 2012. There were days where she would come over and I would be eating hot Cheetos with gooey nacho cheese and warm crunchy jalapenos, and she would be eating salads and grilled chicken with lemon dressing. Watching her eat like that and having to wait for her to come over because she'd be running or at hot yoga late at night made me uncomfortable. Knowing that she was so fit and I was so chubby and I did nothing to better my health made me feel really awful inside. It wasn't until that night, the first Sunday of January, where I was looking at the beautiful actresses with these skinny waists that I decided I needed a change in my life. Sitting there staring off into space and no longer watching The Great Gatsby, I came to a conclusion. I wanted to be that tiny girl that people looked at and wanted to talk to and be friends with. However, the 160-pound me, uncomfortable and awkward, was far from being tiny. That moment I stood up so fast, knocking all the pillows off the couch, and not saying a word, I turned around with my hot chocolate in hand and took off towards the kitchen. The only thought in my mind was I need a lifestyle change. I no longer wanted to look the way I do. With this in mind, I walked straight to the sink and dumped out an almost full hot chocolate. I spun around to see that Rihanna had walked quietly into the kitchen with me and slid up onto the high stool, the face that was stunned. She was my best friend. She knew me as well as my parents and my sister knew me. They all knew that I never wasted food, nor would I ever dump one of my favorite holiday drinks down the sink. I dumped the hot chocolate and watched the thick brown liquid flow down the sink. I knew I'd taken my first step towards a new lifestyle. In my head, all I could think about was eating right and being fit. I knew softball season was 2 weeks away and I'd be working out every day. This plan formed in my head with a couple of seconds. I knew I was ready to start my journey. Setting my coffee mug into the sink, I turned around slowly and sat next to Rihanna on one of the high stools at the counter in the center of my kitchen. I looked at her with her still confused face and I told her, I want to be just like you. Her response was normal and still a bit in shock. Like me? My only response back was, how do I lose weight? And how do I look so fit? How long did it take you? Was it hard? A billion questions came blurting out. I could tell she was still very much in shock. Her response was slow. This will be tough. It takes time and it's difficult. The hardest part is your diet. After that, we stayed up talking in the kitchen for a while until my mom walked in,
On a
sleepy
Sunday
eyed
night,
because it was 10 o'clock.
she walked up in an old, tattered pink nightgown that was made up of stains from her high school days. It was anyone else besides Rihanna, I would have been mortified. I would have slid off my stool and hit the floor in embarrassment. But it was her, so I could care less what my mother looked like. The only thing I could think about was telling my mom what I had decided and what type of lifestyle change I was about to go through. After explaining the whole situation to my mother, she again, just like Rihanna, had the same puzzled look on her face. My mother's laugh was loud and distinct and short, so when she laughed, after I had told her my intentions, I was now the shocked one. You love food too much, Jazz. We know you. You're not going to be able to stop eating junk food cold turkey overnight. My face scrunched and my lips came together. I was absolutely hurt. They had no faith in me. However, I knew me, and I was worried for myself. Was I going to be able to go through this? The rest of the night, Rihanna and I sat at the counter talking and writing lists on how to eat, when to eat, and what to eat. Shortly after walking her to her car to say goodbye, I walked to my room and laid in my bed, and I thought about the whole night. I knew it was time for a change. I knew people would treat me different and attitudes would change towards me. If I was successful with my journey, your size in our society defines who you are, whether you believe it or not. I continued on my journey, and after 6 months, I lost 40 pounds. And people do treat me different, nicer, and more welcoming. This is one border I am glad I crossed at a young age.